Okay. Hello, my name is Maddie, and today I'm going to be responding to Vanessa Felix's claim stating that dietary supplements cause more harm than benefits to the consumer. My opponent's secondary claims, starting with number 1, are dietary supplements are not regulated. Number 2, the use of supplements eventually leads to megadosing. Number 3, many dietary supplements contain dangerous ingredients. Responding to my opponent's first secondary claim, which was dietary supplements are not regulated, I want to first start off with stating that a lot of assumptions are made with her first claim because dietary supplements are regulated. Regulating means to control or supervise, yet my opponent in her own speech proves herself to be false by contradicting herself, saying that the manufacturers and distributors are to ensure the products are safe, which is a form of regulation. According to the National Institutes of the Health Office of Dietary Supplements, the FDA does regulate supplements. In addition to regulating label claims for a new dietary ingredient, meaning one that's not sold as a dietary supplement before 1994, the manufacturer must notify the FDA of its intent to market a dietary supplement. Containing the new dietary ingredient and proving information on how it's determined that reasonable evidence exists for safe human use of the product, the FDA can either refuse to allow new ingredients into or remove existing ingredients from the marketplace for safety reasons. Once a dietary supplement is marketed, the FDA has to prove that the product is either not safe or in order to restrict its use or remove it from the market. In contrast, before allowing the market to remove this product from the market, it must be proven that it's unsafe. The FDA also makes sure that the label of a dietary supplement product is required to be truthful and not misleading. If the label does not meet this requirement, the FDA may remove the product from the marketplace or take other appropriate actions. Moving on to my opponent's secondary claim, she says that the use of supplements eventually leads to megadosing. Although this may be true in some cases, the use of supplements could eventually lead to megadosing, but there is no statistics whatsoever in her speech. In some situations, I found that megadosing might even be beneficial to the consumer, as proven by the University of California, Berkeley. Biochemist Bruce Ames lists more than 50 genetic diseases successfully treated with high doses of vitamins. Ames found a common thread of effectiveness of these megavitamin therapies, which would mean megadosing, and suggests that many more of these diseases might be treated with high-dose vitamins. Moving on to my opponent's third secondary claim, she says many dietary supplements contain dangerous ingredients. The first problem with this claim is that the word dangerous leaves a lot of room for ambiguity, meaning because dangerous to different people could mean a lot of different things. Again, with her third point, she doesn't provide any statistics. She uses words like may contain or can include, but these words can't be backed by statistics. So she expects us to assume she's correct with no proof of evidence. Although this point is correct, as I previously stated, the FDA has the power to remove the product if it is eventually proven to be dangerous to the consumer. Straight from the FDA website, I found them talking about weight loss pills and how the FDA has issued over 30 public notifications and recalled 7 tainted weight loss products in 2014. The agency also has issued warning letters, seized products, and criminally prosecuted people responsible for marketing these illegal diet pills. In addition, the FDA maintains an online list of tainted weight loss products. This goes on to show that the FDA is paying close attention to these supplements in order to make sure people are safe and that these dangerous ingredients are caught. In conclusion, Vanessa makes claims, but there's lack of fact and data, and there's not enough evidence to convince me. Thank you.
All right, it's pretty straightforward organizationally. It's easy to follow. On the first point, you've got a direct counterclaim on some of the arguments concerning the lack of regulation. You present the information about new ingredients. You've got labeling issues that are being applied here. I thought that was pretty effective. When you get to the last point, you also have some demonstration that the FDA does exercise authority there. So I think that there is a pretty strong argument, counterclaim on this particular point. The discussion of what the advocate's argument isn't all that complete, but the counterclaim definitely is very complete on that point. On the second point, basically you have a simple counterclaim that says megadosing could be beneficial in the long run. There are some benefits there. That's a reasonable counterclaim. I think, though, that you're a little skimping. You're skimping a little bit on answering the advocate's argument there. I don't remember exactly what the harms that they were talking about were. I do think that you do have a reasonable press here suggesting there's no statistical information and what the correlation is going to be there. So that's a good press. And like I said, I like the counterclaim that you've got there. It would just be nice if there was something more to say on that particular point. The third point I thought was the easiest one, especially with the evidence at the end suggesting that, look, there are all kinds of, the may or can, that can happen, but there are also actions that can be taken immediately, and you've got a good counterexample on this particular point with the products that were recalled in 2014 and the prosecutions that have taken place. So the suggestion that these things can happen, well, yes, they can happen, but they are regulated, and there's a consequence when it does happen. So I do think that there needed to be maybe a little bit of contrast. Did the advocate themselves suggest that there was a harm because of the mere possibility of this happening versus the FDA's actions subsequent to discovering that these problems exist? It's a risk issue that has to be assessed a little bit there. Presentation issues are a little bit problematic. You got the big pages there. There's a lot of reading. You want to avoid that. But the nice part is the claims are simple and, for the most part, direct to the points that were being presented by the advocate. All right.